Video games take us through a wide array of emotions, whether that be the excitement of seeking treasure in a forgotten underground tomb to the fear of trying to escape a haunted mansion. Games have been used as a form of escapism for many years. The media often likes to focus on the negative or questionable aspects about video games, and rarely shines a light on the numerous positive elements of gaming. Today, I want to talk about gaming, but specifically how games can help to address one of the most powerful and often frightening feelings many of us suffer from, myself included. Today, I want to talk about anxiety. Anxiety is the most common mental illness in the United States, affecting over 40 million people above the age of 18. In fact, 1 in 13 people globally suffer from anxiety or depression. So why is it so few people truly understand the cause of anxiety, where it comes from, and how we can deal with it when it arises? My name is Captain Rob from Gamer World News, and this is Coping with Anxiety Through Video Games. To begin, we must first understand what anxiety is. Anxiety is our brain's natural response to stress. More importantly, it is our brain trying to problem solve for potential issues that may arise in the future. Oftentimes, these problems do not exist in the moment, and in some cases, will never exist at all. It could be the fear of a conversation that may happen down the road, perhaps it is the worry of not being able to pass that test next week, or the fear that people may be judging you. Anxiety gives us feelings of fear, nervousness, and worry. But why? Our brains are incredibly complex machines capable of a number of processes. Anxiety was created as a means to help anticipate what may go wrong before it happens and how we can solve it. Imagine you were a caveman and a wild animal wandered into your camp. What would you do? How can you prepare now for something that may happen in the future? This is essentially what anxiety is trying to help us with. It is important for us to realize that the feeling of anxiety is not a bad thing. Anxiety is a naturally occurring function in the brain that has been vital to our evolutionary success up to this point. However, when left unchecked, it can leave us in a state of unease. Some people believe that you can solve anxiety by simply resolving the problems that it presents. When problem solving, our brain first identifies the issue, thinks about a solution, and as a result, the thought dissipates or weakens in intensity. However, in the case of anxiety, many times our brains will create problems that do not have a solution, or even create problems that do not exist. This results in us asking more questions instead of finding solutions. This cyclical thought process gets us caught in our own minds, and is often referred to as rumination. Rumination is the process of overthinking on a topic. When we ruminate on an anxious thought, it leads to more questions. The end result is a cyclical thought process fueling our anxiety. So how do we break this cycle? This is where video games come in. Anxiety is always about something that may happen in the future. You may be anxious about the consequences of your past actions, but those anxious feelings are about where, when, or how the consequences may arise at a later date. Think about it. Write down all the anxious thoughts you have in a day. Are any of those about something that happened to you in the past or are happening to you right now? Or is your anxiety creating worries and fears about the repercussions of those events in the future? Because anxiety can only exist in the future, it is impossible to be anxious if our mind is in the present. Gaming is one of many exercises we can perform that will focus our attention on the present moment in time. When you play a game, you often find yourself drawn into the world. Maybe you're focusing on where to place the next Tetris block, or what's the next objective on the map I want to uncover. But regardless of your goal, your mind is working to help progress you through the game. This exercise keeps your mind in the present. This also explains why many of us will turn to gaming as a means of coping with the stress of a day or the anxiety of the unknown tomorrow. Gaming, unlike watching a movie, is an active form of entertainment. Most games require constant input in order for us to engage with them. They keep our focus on the screen and our brain engaged on what is happening in the game world. The end result is an active mind not worried about the future and not burdened by the past. Now, some of you may be saying, but Rob, when I play games, I'm also trying to problem solve and anticipate for the future. My mind is not entirely focused on what I'm currently doing. And you would be correct. However, your goal is still almost always to win in the game. Say I'm playing a game of Dota. I'm trying to think minutes ahead about what will happen if I perform a certain action. What items do I need to buy? What has my opponent purchased? How many enemies can I see on the map? Do I have a friend to back me up if I get in trouble? Although my mind is anticipating what problems can occur in the future, my brain is still working to analyze all the information that is given to me to perform in the current moment. In doing so, my mind continues to stay engaged with the task at hand. My focus remains on the game. Can you feel anxiety in a game? Of course, but that will only happen when we are not focusing on the present moment and instead focusing on what may happen in the future. This often occurs in competitive gaming when someone decides that the match is over, there's no way to win, and the outcome is inevitable. That feeling of loss ruminates in their mind and results in an overall negative feeling toward the game itself. You become anxious of something that may occur and lose focus on the actions you are taking now. This feeling may not be as strong as the anxious feelings you have throughout the day because you're still engaging with the game, but it exists and is preventable. We avoid this by staying focused on the task at hand. Sure, the match may be exceedingly difficult to win, but we can still concentrate on playing to the best of our ability and existing in the moment. There are many exercises we can perform outside of gaming that can help us exist in the present as well. Meditation can be helpful to clear our minds. We can exercise, go for a walk, eat a meal, play with a pet, talk to a friend. Anything that will focus our mind on the task at hand and break the cycle of anxious thoughts feeding into each other. Try focusing on a smell that is around you, maybe a candle whose scent you enjoy. Or when you're eating, focus on what the flavors taste like in your mouth. Really concentrate on what it feels like to savor a meal. There's no right or wrong way to meditate or live in the moment, as long as you're focusing on the sights, sounds, and smells around you. You can even take 10 seconds to simply focus on your breathing. Take deep breaths and be aware of what it feels like for your lungs to expand, what the air feels like as it enters your nose and leaves your mouth. This process of focusing on your breath will help to ground you in the present and break a cycle of anxiety. Remember, anxiety is not here to hurt us. It is a naturally occurring process in our brain to help us anticipate problems. It's not something we can get rid of or cure either. It is a function we must learn to live with. The next time you're feeling anxious, write down your thoughts. Realize that the things you're anxious about exist in the future and very well may be out of your control. And when you no longer want to ruminate on those thoughts, find something that will center your focus. Pick up your favorite game, read a book, go for a walk. There are many ways to manage our anxiety. And most of all, remember, you are not alone. A lot of people in the world suffer from anxiety, and most of them are far too preoccupied worrying about their own lives to take the time to judge yours. Anyway, I hope you found the video insightful. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe for more. I hope to continue making long-form editorials such as this in the future. For more information on all things gaming related, from esports, health, VR, and more, check out all of our content at GamerWorldNews.com. Until next time, I'm Captain Rob, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Good luck and have fun.